Let's dive right in. We've all heard the worry, right? That a university degree just isn't enough anymore to land a great job. We're going to explore why that feeling exists, and more importantly, what's being done to fix it.
I mean, this is the question, isn't it? The one that keeps students, and probably their parents, up at night. The job market is changing so fast, it's a moving target. And the skills that matter are constantly evolving. So are universities really hitting the mark?
Okay, so this gets to the heart of the problem. It's what people are calling the modern skills gap. You can think of it like a huge canyon between the theory you learn in a lecture hall and the practical, technical skills that employers are actually desperate to hire for. And just look at these fields. AI, big data, cybersecurity. These aren't just buzzwords anymore, right? They are absolute job-creating machines, and they are hungry, really hungry for talent with the very specific and very modern set of skills. Let's put some real numbers on this, just to see how big we're talking. In India's IT sector alone, they're predicting a 15 to 20% jump in jobs just for next year. That is a massive wave of opportunity, but only if you've got the skills to ride it.
So, here it is in a nutshell. You've got this massive demand for tech talent on one side, and then on the other, you have a university system that, let's be honest, often struggles to keep up. The big question is, how do we build a bridge over that gap?
Well, building that bridge means we have to completely rethink what success even means for a student. It's not just about getting that diploma and walking across the stage anymore. It has to be about so much more.
And that's where this idea of holistic student success comes into play. It's this shift away from just churning out graduates with a piece of paper. The goal now is to shape well-rounded people. People who can actually thrive in the real world, not just, survive it.
This really shows that shift in thinking perfectly. The old goal, graduation rates. The new goal, career readiness. We're moving from just academic achievement to holistic development, from purely theoretical knowledge to actual, hands-on, real-world application.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how do you actually do this? How do you make this big shift happen in the real world? Well, let me introduce you to the Apple Experience Center, a really bold new model that's designed to tackle this skills gap head-on.
This quote, I think, just says it all. The goal is to make sure that students are fully equipped with current world scenarios. And notice that last part, irrespective of their domain. This is about learning skills for today's world, not just reciting yesterday's textbook.
So what is it exactly? Well, simply put, it's a center of excellence that's built right on campus. And the key here is that it's an industry partnership, a direct collaboration. It's basically a pipeline, connecting academic life directly to the professional tech world.
All right, so let's peek inside. What are students actually learning in these centers? And what makes it so different from a typical classroom?
The whole curriculum is really built on three main pillars. First, you've got those fundamental 21st century skills, things like creativity and critical thinking. Then you layer on the hard, technical skills. We're talking mobile app development, UI, UX design. And finally, and this is so important, you add those crucial soft skills, leadership, teamwork, the things that actually make you effective in a job. It's the whole package. And, the process itself is surprisingly straightforward, which is probably its biggest strength. You set up the labs with the right tech and curriculum, you launch these skill development programs, you get students actively engaged in building things, and then, the final step, you connect them directly to the industry that wants to hire them. It's a pipeline, straight to a job.
And just to be clear, this is not your typical sit in a lecture hall kind of learning. We are talking about hackathons, coding clubs, innovation hubs, design competitions. This is where the learning gets real, because students are actually building, creating, and solving problems.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but does it actually lead to a job? Let's connect the dots. Let's see how the skills learned in the center unlock these high-growth careers.
Whoa, look at this number. 2.2 billion. That's how many active Apple devices are out there in the world right now. Now, that's not just a big number. That is a massive global economy that literally runs in the palm of your hand. And what does an ecosystem that huge create? It creates a strong, continuous, and pretty relentless demand for skilled developers. Companies are desperate for people who can build for iOS, and that means jobs, and really good paying jobs at that.
And learning iOS development isn't just about making apps. It's really a gateway to some of the hottest jobs in all of tech. AI specialists, big data experts, cybersecurity analysts, you name it, having these iOS skills gives you a huge advantage.
So think about it. When a student learns to code with Apple's tools, with things like Swift and Swift UI, they're not just learning a programming language. They are literally getting a golden ticket to the fastest growing, highest paying jobs in the entire tech industry.
So for the student, the payoff is just incredibly clear and tangible. You walk away with an official certification that makes your resume pop. You've got a portfolio of real apps you've built for real clients. And maybe most importantly, you get direct access to internships and job placements through the center's industry partners.
So, when you put it all together, what this model really does is build that bridge we've been talking about since the beginning. It finally connects the classroom to the corner office. It's what turns a degree into a meaningful career.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. As the pace of technology just keeps getting faster and faster, is this kind of deep, integrated partnership between universities and industry, is it just a good idea anymore? Or is it maybe the essential future of higher education itself?